That's right. It's the morning show right here on ABC News Radio, KMET, 1490 AM. Joining our live TV audience over there at KVVB TV, Channel 33, Facebook Live, Periscope TV, LinkedIn Live, YouTube Live, and of course our good friends at Roku TV. Glad to have you on today's show. We got lots to talk about. In fact, a little bit later on, we're going to have returning guest author. This man has written a lot of books, translated in a lot of languages. One of the few that I actually know personally that we've had on this show. Each and every time, he's just such a delight. Does a lot of really good for a lot of people out there, especially with his Wish You Well Foundation. We've got David Baldacci joining us around the corner. This man, he's published, in over 45 languages in 80 countries. This man gets around for quite some time. He's going to be talking to us about his latest addition to his series, actually, with Memory Man. It's called Walk the Wire, which I got a question for him. It's kind of a Johnny Cash reference, Walk the Line. Just wondering what, inspired. Did he listen to one and say, you know what, that's a good title? I don't know. We'll find out around the corner. But first, we are so excited about this. Yes, it's all the way from WWE. And boy, oh boy, WrestleMania 36 had a lot of surprises, one of which was, of course, Mandy Rose. Shocked a lot of fans. Right now, we got on the line with us Mandy. Mandy, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Hey, how are you? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for joining us. Look, Mandy, I understand you shocked a lot of fans out there. Obviously, you're no stranger to social media. You get all the comments and then some. I got to ask, what was the biggest reaction from those, and were you ready for it?
Yeah, in our business, it's you're never really ready. It's always there's always so many surprises, but yeah, I didn't anticipate all of the positivity and the way our story has resonated with the fans. I didn't anticipate it being this crazy, but I'm taking it all in and just enjoying it, and I'm very grateful. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Well, Mandy, you speak about the business, and it's interesting because speaking of the business, you travel quite a lot. Can you give me just kind of a snapshot? Because I feel like when people see WWE, they see, it on TV, and of course they see what's going on. But sometimes people forget how busy your schedule is when you're not filming.
Yeah, everyone does different things outside of WWE, but I'm very busy outside of WWE. I prefer that. I love being busy, and of course, kind of makes you appreciate things a lot more right now with everything going on. But I'm still getting work done. I'm still, doing a lot of interviews and just trying to stay busy. But yeah, I have my own app. It's called Fit with Mandy, which is like a 12-week at-home program designed for all different skill levels, all men, women, and it's basically just very easy to follow. It requires little to no equipment, so it's great during times like right now being quarantined. And have a skincare line that's launching soon called Mandy Rose. So, I keep very busy, and obviously I have to because wrestling unfortunately isn't going to last forever, and I like to set myself up for down the road and continue to build my brand.
Well, Mandy, and I love this app here because I understand it's available pretty much on any platform that you can choose from, either Android and or iPhone. I got to ask, though, a quick question on that. When you put this together, what was it important for you to have on there for the everyday person that wants to get fit? Because I understand there's different levels. There's beginner, there's advanced, and I think you're ultimate advanced. I don't know if that's a thing.
Yeah, well, that's kind of one of the reasons why I did it, because I know people outside looking in, they see me, they're like, wow, how can I look like her? And I get it, but I've also been, heavy lifting and training and strength conditioning for, quite some time now. So you got to start somewhere, and I designed this app basically so anyone can do it, for all the moms out there that are home with their kids, and, for the young kids that can start living a healthier lifestyle and starting young. And that's why I did it. And I did it primarily first as well for being on the road so much. I'm always traveling, and sometimes I can't have access to a local gym or, a good gym, let's say. So I can do it in my hotel room. And it's just a really good, high-intensity interval training program that is designed for everyone. So, it's promoting a healthy lifestyle and promoting the fact that anyone can do it, and you got to start somewhere, and you could always build from that.
Well, Mandy, it's interesting. So you mentioned something like moms, but you know what you missed? You missed the demographic of grandmas. My mom, actually, no truth to the rumor, she asked a question on social media, and I was like, wow, Mom, look at you. So I think she's going to be one of the first to download your app right after this interview. I got to ask, her question had to deal with the arms. She said, like, in women, sometimes and this is men too, by the way, this isn't just women, but the underarms. Is there any exercise that you recommend for my mom to do? By the way, she has a bad shoulder, so you got to take that into account.
Yeah, obviously, it's harder as you get older, and I deal with it with my mom as well, and she's working out with me. She's always moving, and the biggest advice I would say is just to stay active, and whether it's like swimming in the pool and just kind of keeping your bones and your muscles healthy, and just staying active, because that's what my mom does a lot. But the underarm, yeah, that area is hard. My mom says the same thing. We joke around about it. She's like, how do I get rid of this? But I could do some tricep dips, like you could do it off of a coffee table. Like you could do it off of so many things in your home, and just kind of like work at that, and just trying to build a little bit of muscle tone, because with getting rid of that, you have to build some muscle tone, and also dieting and nutrition is very important as well to lose that body fat.
Well, and I've got a question from social media. One of the questions had to do with the fitness app. And the question was, when it comes to especially timing, is there a particular time that you recommend maybe for the body for optimal like workout? For example, the question comes from Cynthia. Cynthia asks, morning or evening, which is the better time to work out if someone has a choice? I regularly work out 5 to 6 days a week, and I love the evening for my workouts. Any suggestions over there?
A lot of people say that the morning's the best. Like, just kind of, I think, because you get it out of the way, you have the whole day. It's all about routine, I think. But everyone's different. I tend to sometimes work out in the morning, but then there's other times with my schedule with, like, if I gotta get stuff done and I can't work out till 4 or 5 o'clock, I'm gonna still do it. So I have the mindset of, like, if you can get it done whatever time, I don't think it matters. But I do like having a routine, because I think once you stick to that routine, you feel more focused, you feel more consistent, and you're able to kind of just, I don't know, like, just have that mindset. So I think everyone's different, but I definitely suggest, like, kind of getting it out of the way in the morning is usually the best time, because you get it out of the way, and then you don't have to worry and wait for later, and then have to struggle with the risk of, like, oh, I don't want to move right now, it's about 4 o'clock, I just want to hang out. So
Yep. No, I understand some people, like Mark Wahlberg, he wakes up like at 3:30 a.m. and does his workout. I don't know about you, but I'm not that person. Are you like do you wake up early, or kind of a late waker-upper?
It depends. It depends on my schedule. When I'm more consistent with live events and road loops, it kind of changes. Like, there's some days, I don't even like saying this, but some days, like, we get home so late from a drive. We can get home 3 a.m. in the morning that, like, I sometimes have to sleep till like noon to get my full 8 hours. So I am more of a night person, because I can hang out late, and then mornings are sometimes a little more tougher for me. But when I'm just like on a roll, on a good schedule, I can wake up early and start my day.
Well, and they say, the best thing for fitness as well is also what you eat and how you eat it and how often you eat it. I know everybody's different. However, can you make a recommendation for somebody that really wants to get lean, mean machine type status? Because I know my lady over there, she's done the Spartan race, and she's like ready to go back to Spartan race, except with this whole coronavirus stay at home thing. I don't know if it's like possible. Is it possible to get back in that type of shape?
Yeah, I mean, I know it's hard right now, and everyone's struggling with that. But I think, my biggest advice would be consistency, and of course, like, moderation too. I'm all about balance, and I did the whole competing, and I've gotten my body to, like 5% body fat or whatever it may be. But, that's not something I can live with every day and maintain. So I'm all about kind of enjoying your life as well. You know, I have my donuts and my cheat meals here and there, but I also am very consistent. And I'm also like, I know if my body can't afford a cheat meal this week or, you know, today or whatever it may be, because I'm very much into seeing the way my body is and the progress I make and kind of how my clothes fit and all that. I'm not really about the number on the scale because I don't really truly believe that has much to do with it. So I would just suggest like a very, you know, high protein, low carbohydrate diet, but it all depends on what your goals are. You know, if you're trying to lose body fat, I would suggest that, you know, maybe even taking out your carbs for the last 3 meals of the day and just having them in the morning. And, you know, I took out dairy a long time ago. I think that's definitely made a change with my diet. And, you know, everyone's different. That's the thing. Like, that's why I always recommend having a coach or a nutritionist, because everyone's bodies react differently to certain foods and like the certain times we eat as well.
Well, I know my mom's going to get your app. I'm going to go check it out as well. It's right there. It's Fit with Mandy. And I know we could follow you on all social media platforms. Is there like one page we could follow you and then find all the different platforms that you're on? Because you're on quite a few.
Yes. My Instagram, at Mandy Sachs, I have a link, link tree in my profile where you can get all of my platforms from there, you know, so they'll all be available there.
Okay, all right, Mandy, thank you very much for spending time taking a big cut out of like WWE. Go at it, get back in the ring, and go take someone out, okay?
All right, thank you so much.
All right, Mandy Rose, everybody over there at WWE, keeping busy. And we got to take a quick break. We got to keep busy because we got David Baldacci next here on the show. Stay tuned for that. Can't wait for that. We'll be right back right after these messages. All right, we're on our commercial break here. How much time do we have on this break, Jesse?
One minute, 20 seconds.
All right, cool. Let's see, Mom over there tuning in. I could tell she's already going to download. But you got to be careful, Mom. Seriously, these are like for, like, you know. But I mean, you know, within reason, right? She does some pretty good workout activities. Although I saw a couple of those shots of like, have you ever done the ropes, by the way, Jesse? Like for any length of extended time?
I don't know what you mean, like jump rope?
More like technically you could jump rope with those, I guess. Yeah, no, the big ropes, the big like handheld. I know you can't see our what we're throwing up there on the screen right now. What do they call them, Brenda? I know you've done them. I just pick them up and then do them and then go, oh my God, my arms are sore.
Oh, that thing.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, no.
If you ever, like, seriously, anybody looks at that and you're like, oh, that looks pretty easy. To keep doing it for any length of time. All right. Hey, we
We
got
got
Joey.
10 seconds.
Oh, okay. We got Joey Baird tuning in, but for David Baldacci, he's next, so we'll focus on that. We'll come back to you, Joey.
2 seconds.
That's right. It is the morning show right here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 Joining our live TV audience over there at KVVB TV, Channel 33, Facebook Live, Periscope TV, LinkedIn Live, YouTube Live, and of course our good friends at Roku TV. Download our app. It is free, KVVB TV and or KMET 1490 AM. Joining us right now is a good friend and longtime author. Seriously, this man has done more books than I can even count. It's David Baldacci joining us right now. Good morning. Welcome back to the show, David.
Good morning. Great to be back. Thank you.
Yeah, look, David, I understand you went the next level with the Memory Man series. Now, I understand this particular book that you've got with us, Walk the Wire. Is it no truth to the rumor you were listening to a little bit of Johnny Cash, Walk the Line?
Yeah, if we want to lay that one out, absolutely, I'll go along with it.
Yeah, I'm just saying. But no, seriously, obviously, like, look, you've been able to add this to your plethora of books out there. What can fans, especially those longtime fans of the series, get to look forward to in this particular book?
They'll see a more personal side of Amos Decker. He's my memory man. He had a brain trauma as a football player. It gave him perfect recall, hyperkinesia. He's now an investigator for the FBI. He has to travel to North Dakota, a fracking town in northwest North Dakota, which is a boom town. It used to be a small town. Now there's tens of thousands of people racing there to work in the oil fields, and lots of crime follows that. And a body of a young woman has been found, and the interesting about it is that she's already been autopsied by whoever killed her. So the FBI is called in, and at first they're not sure why they're even there. Decker knows that FBI doesn't investigate local murders unless it's a serial killer. Local police do that, so he figures out there has to be something very special about the victim, Irene Kramer. She must have some significance with the federal government, and it turns out she does. So really it's him going into the Wild Wild West. I mean, it's kind of like the days of the California gold rush in 1849. The rules don't apply. It's not really the civilized world anymore. It's just everybody out making up their own rules, and lots of bad things happen.
Well, look, I know I can give you credit, but I'm just going to give credit where credit is due. Washington Post says this: Decker is one of the most unusual detectives any novelist has dreamed up. A masterclass on the bestseller, highly entertaining. And Richmond Times-Dispatch said this: Baldacci's novels always have an emotional component, but Memory Man stands out among his thrillers for its deeply felt and earned success of catharsis and healing. Some pretty big words. How does that feel for you to hear?
It's always nice to get reviews like that and acclaim from people. As you're writing the novel, you don't think about that. You think about trying to build the best stories and characters that you can. But with that said, I mean, Decker really spoke to me in ways that other of my characters haven't. He's got a lot of emotional baggage that he has to deal with. His gift of infallible memory cuts both ways. Most of us have things we'd rather forget in our lives, or, time heals all wounds. But for him, it doesn't, because of the memory that he has. It could be 50 years old, and it feels like to him that it happened yesterday. So he can't forget those bad times like the rest of us can. And I think maybe that might have contributed why people feel sympathetic for him, can relate to him even more than they can some of my other characters.
Well, David, I know like during this time, coronavirus, one thing people are doing is they're spending more time at home, I hope, unless you're one of the percentage that doesn't. However, those that are currently staying home, they're watching television, they're picking up a good book to read, hint, hint, wink, wink, maybe go get David Baldacci's book right here. But for somebody that hasn't actually followed the journey of Memory Man and or any one of your books, do you ever have a recommendation for, let's say, the person that's kind of, they forgot what it's like to read a good book? You know what I mean? Kind of, they get busy with life, and now they're finally like, you know what, I always enjoyed reading. Is there a particular book that really hits your readers everywhere, that gets them back into the swing of things of reading your books, or any book?
Yeah, I think there are two that a lot of people refer to over the years, at least they have to me. One is The Winner, and the other one is The Camel Club. And The Camel Club is the beginning of that series. There were 5 Camel Club books about this sort of odd assortment of ragtag characters, older guys in their 50s. Each of them had sort of secret backgrounds, and they've come together to, solve crimes in Washington, D.C. So those are, a couple of books. The winners is flat out fun. The villain of that book figured out how to fix the United States National Lottery from a chemical point of view. And I found out years later that somebody in Italy kind of used a similar method to fix the Italian National Lottery. So I had a bunch of journalists from Italy calling me up wanting me to comment on that.
Wow. Wow.
So that's just a fun book. But The Camel Club is a very intense thriller, very timely when it came out in the early 2000s. So a lot of people will recommend that one, for one of my books if they want to start reading them.
Well, there you go. I know you can get your books pretty much everywhere. Every time I go into a Barnes & Noble, it's like right there, front and center. I've got a question for an aspiring writer over there in the wing, quite literally. His name is Jesse Sanchez. For him, because he likes writing, but he says he doesn't like to finish a book. He feels like it should keep going and going. Any suggestions for him to get back into writing, just let it continue?
Yeah, I think that you need to find out something you're really interested in. To write a book or anything, you need to have a tank full of fuel. And by that I mean sort of this creative passion and energy. And you're going to have a lot more of that if you're actually interested in the subject matter instead of writing a book that might be a trend book, what's hot now, code books, dinosaur books, whatever. But if you have that passion, one, you're going to finish the book and you're going to know sort of how it's supposed to end. And two, your prose and your plot are going to be much stronger because you're actually really interested in developing the story as opposed to kind of copying down what you think might sell. So I would say, write about something that you're really interested in and might want to find out about. Discovering new information is a joy, and it also energizes you. So when I go out and I research my novels, I feel like it energizes me and hypes me up. I can take that newly acquired knowledge and build really cool stories out of it. About things that I didn't even know existed, a month before I started, reading about them. So anything that can keep you energized and upbeat and have your tank full of fuel is a good thing for a writer. And then as you're writing, you have to realize, too, at some point the story has to end. How do you know when the story's supposed to end? Set up in your mind early on, what do you want to accomplish? It's almost like writing a paper, building a house, working on a car. You have to have an end goal in mind. What do you want to accomplish with all the work you're going to put into this? And then once you have accomplished what your earlier goal was, then that's a good time to end the book.
All right, David Baldacci, I know we've run out of time. Thank you, and we apologize for taking too much of your time, but we're going to go check it out. It's the latest book right now, Walk the Wire. Thanks for spending time with us here on The Morning Show.
Thank you.
All right, go check it out. It's in bookstores, and if you're not going to go to a bookstore, have it delivered to you or check it out. He's got audiobooks as well. You can check it out on Kindle. There's so many different ways to get a hold of one of his books. But seriously, these are one of those page-turning type books, which is why he's done so well. And we didn't even talk about the TV version and film version that his books have gone into. But we're going to talk about that another time for another place. But we got to take a quick break here. We'll be right back right after these messages with more right here of The Morning Show. Stay tuned. All right, for those of you tuning in, we appreciate you live on the air. Of course, a lot of this will be seen after the fact. So if you are watching for the very first time or you're just tuning in, make sure to friend request us on Facebook. It's Aaron Michael Sanchez on Facebook right there. I've got actually two profiles, one personal, one like checkmark fan page. If you can find one of my personal ones, I will add you as well. I just have to make room. Once you get to the 5,000 mark, you got to delete people. And you know what? It's surprising to me how many people actually they log off, but it doesn't take it off of your count. Did you know that, Jesse?
No, I did not.
Yeah, if you ever get to that point where it's the 5,000 mark, what I do, and this is a recommendation for a lot of people out there, because I've seen a lot of people accumulate 5,000 plus. You turn on following. There's a setting in your settings, which is you can turn on your following. So people can follow you, not necessarily meaning that they're your personal friend, which is kind of weird, but it just is. So it allows for you to post privately just to your friends. If you do that, then it won't show up to all of the following people. And or if you want to like get really serious with it, you just do what I do and you delete people that are inactive or haven't posted for quite some time. I have an app which I might share it one day. It's on my Chrome. It's a Chrome edition, and it'll show which one is your most active users, the people that tend to like look at your stuff and or your content. Because there's some people I look at and I'm like, I've never seen their posts. And that's not my fault. That's Facebook's fault. Facebook limits the amount of posts you have when you have that many people. But my recommendation is whenever you hit the 5,000 mark, delete at least 5 to 10 people. And you just got to go through your list and you'll find like fake profiles. You'll find like pages that have a fake picture. You look for little key indicators like that. Some will be blacked out, but it doesn't remove them from your count. How weird is that, right, Jesse? You would think it would remove them from your overall count, but it doesn't. So,
Right? That is weird.
yeah, there's some Facebook advice tips of the morning. Speaking of tips of the morning, we got tips of the evening and every other day with 2 Men in Your Business, which, no truth to the rumor, I forgot to change that heading on my Facebook, so it says 2 Men in. It's a big like push to that show where we talk about business opportunities, tips, tricks, how to get your marketing to the next level using social media and or more. So if you have a business question, feel free to ask, even right here, right now, and we might answer it this evening at 5 o'clock. We go live on LinkedIn Live every 5 o'clock at night. Just find me there on Instagram, also on
5
Twitter.
seconds.
But and then we rebroadcast it the following day on Facebook. So there you go.
2 seconds.
All right, thanks. Welcome back. Yes, it is the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. Joining our live TV audience over there at KVVB TV, Channel 33, Facebook Live, Periscope TV, LinkedIn Live, YouTube Live, and of course, Roku TV. Wow, what an exciting first half of the show, right? Usually we spread them out. We got them all in the beginning half. If you missed any part of that, we had a chance to speak to Mandy Rose over there at WWE, which has a really cool app. You can go download it right now, Fit with Mandy, and it is available on the device of your mobile device. So you can go check out a lot of her workouts right there and doing a lot of them just like literally like without like the workout stuff that you would normally have, the weights, which speaking of which, Stephanie Reed helped me with the terminology, which I asked a little earlier on if Jesse has ever taken part of the battle ropes that you see Mandy right there doing pretty effortlessly, by the way, which that's really good for just the cardio and the arms, the like full-on arm body workout. But I don't know how many minutes you could go, Jesse, just trying that. But I can tell you right now, any time you go like really hard on that, even like if you've got like 3, 4, 5 minutes with that, you are like, what's his name? Superman, Henry Cavill. He does that. He's got like his physique. If I could get his physique overnight, that would be great, but that's probably not going to happen the way I've been eating. So I don't know about you, Jesse, but there you go. So, and then David Baldacci as well. Go check out his latest book. You could do so. And look, right now is a great time to pick up a book, is it not? Why not pick it up with one of his books? I mean, a lot of people read his book. So Walk the Wire is his latest edition right there. Amos Decker returning in that following his bestseller Redemption. And seriously, wherever you pick up with one of his books, you're going to be happy because there's a reason he keeps publishing. And this guy publishes more often than not. Now, Jesse, I know I kind of threw you under the bus on that interview, but what did you pick up from that?
Research the subject matter in a book, which I actually have been researching something. I started watching something about geology. They were searching for rocks. I do that on YouTube sometimes, gold mining and stuff like that.
Oh, really?
But I had an interesting idea because what were they mining? They were mining someplace in New York for something called Herkimer diamonds, which aren't actually diamonds. They're like some type of quartz. But I saw something that was interested me when I was watching it, because one of the diamonds one of the quartz things had a bubble inside the stone with the water inside.
Really?
So yeah, so I was like, that's pretty interesting. So I remember years back in Mexico that they discovered some type of giant quartz crystal cave. I don't know if you remember that.
I don't.
No.
Although there's a lot of quartz caves around the area, so I just like frequent those. But so wait, so okay, I'll let you continue. Then I got a question for you.
Yeah. So I thought of a interesting story idea if something not bad, but what if they found something that shouldn't have been found? But yeah.
Ooh, I was hoping you'd go there. I was gonna ask you like, what if it was like a cool super? But that one's kind of been overdone. The superhero thing, like you find it, then it makes you like into a superhero. However, I like where you're going with this. I'm already intrigued. If you just put that like in a little summary, I'm ready to read the book. So it sounds like you're on the right step to getting that book finished, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, good.
One step forward.
Good. That makes me happy to hear. Seriously, it does. Because I cannot wait to get the first copy and then have you sign it, and then I'll have that like with all my other books. I make sure if we ever meet an author, I make sure to have them sign it. They kind of go like, why? It's like, sometimes they have their own fake signature in there. I'm like, because, it's kind of important I meet you right now. Because I put it as one of those like forever memories. You ever do that, Jesse? Do you ever have one of those forever memories with anybody, whether they be an author, a celebrity, or just somebody that you look up to? They could even be a family member. I mean, I've never asked my mom for an autograph, but you never know.
I have one book with an autograph in it, and that was from Felicia Day. She's an actress, and she wrote a book about being geeky. So I bought. I think it was like a small autobiography, but I enjoy her work, and I enjoyed the book. It was very pleasant and fun.
Now,
Look, he's going to.
Felicia Day, she comes out, speaking of her as an actress, I didn't know she did her book, but correct me if I'm wrong, she is on an interesting couple of shows. What was the show that you enjoyed her in, by the way?
I started watching her on a web show called The Guild, and then she started appearing in stuff like Eureka from the Sci-Fi Network, and I think she was in an episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer back in the days.
And she's in one of my favorite shows, No Truth to the Rumor. I love Supernatural, by the way, which is a fantastic show. And her character there was amazing. And then, of course, anybody that dies in that show, they bring back eventually because they always have a way of like redoing, right? Like everybody could die, and then they're like, okay, redone. And but I was sad to hear that one kind of go away. But there it is. You're never weird on the internet, almost. I love that. So. Oh, very cool. So you might want to like put that in a little special drawer or do you have it like in a safe place so nobody knows about it and doesn't like go and raid it or anything?
Right now it's in a box with all my other books because I'm redoing my room.
Got it. Okay. Well, that's actually pretty. Well, I don't know. So to get broken into, I don't know how to say about that. But okay, so I got a box full of comic books, but those are safe at my mom's house, which no truth to the rumor, she's not there. So now I'm thinking that's not so safe. Okay. Anyway, long story short, look, a lot of people out there right now. We're going to talk about some of the latest news headlines. We'll do that when we come back. We're going to regroup really quick. Stay tuned right there. Make sure you download our app. It's free. KMET 1490 AM. Also KVVB TV. If you have a Roku device, or if you don't even have a Roku device, go get one. They like start, I think, I don't know what the cheapest one is, but I know the most expensive one, and then anything in between, that's pretty much what you do. And then you got apps for days that you could download. A lot of free content, by the way. Of course, some paid content like HBO Now and some other like Netflix and others. But download ours, KVVB TV 33. Look for that, and it is free. Just add it to your favorites, add it to your homepage, and you'll be good to go. 24/7 programming. Fantastic information over there. Okay, we got to take a break. We'll be right back right after these messages. Stay tuned. And let's see, we're on our commercial break there. Joey Baird, by the way, if you're tuning into our show right this minute and you want to check out a really good, which, by the way, is a really big thing happening across the U.S. I saw a report recently that there may or may not be, I don't want to go out there on a limb and say this because I don't know how long we're going to be at this, but there may be certain food shortages out there. I know in the meat industry, they're already kind of looking at that. Milk as well. Milk's kind of been like, without people in school. Anyway, long story short, a lot of people are going to start growing vegetables and or fruits in their houses if they have like a garden and or a mini garden, right? Like I know we've been talking about that in our area. Although up here we've got like several places. We've already had an offer to plant like maybe an avocado tree somewhere. So I was like, ooh, we get our own avocado tree in a little nursery. So, but Joey Baird, his show, him and his wife are going to be on today, and they'll be talking about vegetables you can grow in partial shade. In segment 2, the topic, what to know before buying plants from your garden center, and their guest will be author Matt Mattis, and answering garden questions. Submit your garden question by emailing the address gardentalkradio@gmail.com. I think you can also follow them on Facebook. They're good to go there. So go check it out. Great show, and that's following ours, by the way, but only if you download the app, KMET 1490 AM. Download it to your mobile device, and or just type it in, KMET1490am.com. And if you want to check out all the great programming, you can check out the SoundCloud edition. Just go search them, and I think it's under weekday programming, 9 a.m. slot. You'll see the Wisconsin vegetable gardener returning with us. They took a little bit of a break in I think the latter half of last year, but they came back, so we're happy to have them back. All right, how much time we got on the clock there, Jesse? Did I lose Jesse?
Oh, it would help if I unmuted myself. So we got 40 seconds.
Okay, cool. I'm like, oh no, we're disconnected again. So this is a thing.
Yeah, I realized I was having a conversation to myself.
Oh, yeah, I know what that's like. I get it, Jesse. If you just want
20
to tune
seconds
out of me talking, I get it. Like, you ever do that where somebody's talking and you're like thinking of something else? That's me all the time. It's sad.
I do sometimes.
Yeah, you did it right now. I'm just saying.
Okay, 2 seconds.
All right.
252.
That's right. It's the morning show.
That's right.
Here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. Joining our live TV audience over there at KVVB TV, Channel 33, Facebook Live, Periscope TV, LinkedIn Live, YouTube Live, and of course our good friends at Roku TV. Top of the news, actually, there's a lot of it, including this. The Senate Minority Leader says details need to be ironed out on the $450 billion coronavirus deal, but it could be passed as soon as today. So we're looking at the news headlines, seeing when and if that will happen, which I don't know, Jesse. Sometimes these things, they kind of put like this whole estimate of time, and we're all like waiting to see what's going to happen. Then we look at the fine print and you're like, oh, wow, I didn't see that person was getting funded in, or that organization was getting funded. Why are they getting funded before like this other organization? So, but we'll see. Look, we'll see, and then we'll stay tuned for that and see what happens over there. All right, switching gears entirely, though, is this. Another interesting story here. Americans are worrying that their federal stimulus checks will not last long. I saw this, and I thought to myself, I wonder why? I mean, that doesn't make any sense, right, Jesse?
Yeah, we need more money.
It's sad but true. It's sad but true. I know there's certain countries which are given a little bit more and a little bit more depending on how long it lasts. Look, I'm all for, again, helping humanity. However, I know some are not, quite literally. I mean, I'm seeing it in social media, and it's sad, really. It's sad that I'm seeing so many people protesting and saying, which, by the way, I know it looks like a lot of people, but they say it's not quite a lot. Just when you're all like clustered in a little area, it looks like a lot. So no truth to the rumor. This is not the majority. This is a minority that are protesting. However, I've seen it said, a lot of people are like, you know what, I'd rather return back to work, and if I get sick, oh well. And I don't know how you feel about that, Jesse, but I mean, look, you're safe inside a bunker, what I call it. So, like, you are practicing social distancing like nobody's business. However, I get it because, oftentimes people think I'm, got a full-time job and I've got this, and then usually I have a full-time job, but then I've got to like find ways to like supplement my income. However, lately it's been kind of hard to do what I do, which is called advertising, right? So advertising, nobody wants to advertise during coronavirus. So long story short here, Jesse, quick question. If you were on the other side of things, what would you hope people would do? Maybe, I don't know, maybe like even your own family members when it comes to the stay-at-home order.
I wish they would stay at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what I would do if I was stuck at home, but
Yeah.
I would just try and keep busy, go for walks if there's no one around, do it at night, do it in the morning.
There you go. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of options. Look, I keep saying this. I say, if you're going to protest, as long as you have a face mask, which you know what? Some people are making fun of these protesters. I'm the first one to say responsible protesting, right? Have you seen the little memes and the things where they're protesting, they got a sign holding up and they're like, no, we care about our right to choose whether to live or die. And I'm like, what? But long story short, yeah. So there you go. We got people out there which are thinking, okay, they are completely I don't want to say like Superman, but they think like they're not going to get sick at all. Or if they do get sick, they're going to be okay. But here's the thing, and correct me if I'm wrong, Jesse, because I could be wrong on this. Do people get sick just from, I don't know, staying home in their house or coming into contact with somebody that has it, which although they may be okay, but now the new person who isn't okay gets visited by that person, or they go out in public and then they interact with each other, and now one steps into a sneeze, and they're not wearing a face mask, and it's there in the air, and now the person who is susceptible is now sick, and oh, by the way, that person who said, oh, I'm going to be fine, yeah, you get fine, you're okay, but you pass it on to 3 other people. What do you think about that, Jesse? Is that good reasoning, bad reasoning, or I don't know what the heck I'm talking about reasoning?
Yeah, no, that's actually a bad reasoning. That's just how things spread. Yeah.
Yeah. So look, here's the reality here, people. The second surge is the one that we have to be most concerned about. And I know the majority of you are thinking, what is he talking? The second surge? When I say that, Jesse, do you know what I'm talking about?
I believe so. I mean, I think the Spanish flu, I think it was worse during its second phase as it hit again.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Well, no, it's interesting that you say that, because I posted that on social media a couple days ago, and I kind of let people see that and kind of say, okay, well, how is this any different, right? Obviously, we're talking about 100 years later, and what did we learn from the Spanish flu, right? Okay, first of all, we know the Spanish flu didn't originate in Spain. However, they were the first to claim it, so there you go. However, many people are wondering, well, what does that mean when it comes to the second wave or spike, right? So we're seeing this downtick in a lot of areas. So you see a lot of people going, hey, you know what? Fine, we're good to go. However, as Jesse just alluded to, the second, which actually was after several months in the fall, by the way, it hit at an all-time high the second time around. So now, granted, we've learned a lot over 100 years, and they said, look, if people had done a stay-at-home back then, the numbers would have been quite lower just on the first spike alone, and perhaps it could have died out. Maybe, I don't know, because I don't think they had the vaccine in time as well for them. Oh, wait, by the way, guess what? That's what time we're living in right this minute, right? There is no vaccine available. Granted, they're working on them, so we have some hope over there that hopefully there'll be more good than bad when it comes to a vaccine coming up around the corner. However, right now you have a lot of people being very, what I call, I'm going to call it that, irresponsible. They're being irresponsible, and they're saying basically, in effect, I don't care what it takes. I want to be free as a bird to do what I want, how I want, when I want. Now, I don't know about you, Jesse, but is this good reasoning in life? Let's just say, just in general.
Oh yeah, I agree.
You agree? That's. So let me rephrase that. So you think it's good to go out there and say, I'll be free when I want, how I want, when I want, no matter what.
Yeah, that's what the people want. That's what they want. I don't care if I get sick, or I don't care if I get other people sick. but it just think about other people.
Yeah, I like, see, yours is like the smart version of it. Look, I'm all for being free. I mean, that's why, thank goodness, we were born in the United States of America, right? I mean, we've got a lot of free rights. We get to speak out about people we don't like, as long as it's not false, right? You don't want to be slanderous, don't want to be held liable for that. However, let's go back to that reasoning just for a minute, okay? You know, Milady and I, Brenda and I were talking about this last night, and she made a very good point, and it was this one. Let's say you go out and you drive. Now, quick question, Jesse. Your car, what's the top speed on that?
I don't know. I don't go past the 80s because I don't want to go back to the future or to the past if I go past 88.
What was it?
So
I think
I don't hit that.
5? Yeah, no, you don't hit that number. Yeah. But most people have like that top speed, right? Of like if you wanted to go like 195, I think. And some cars, I mean, they go a lot faster. We've been in a few of them. They're lovely and they're amazing. However, as free as you have the right to be able to, like, I don't know, maybe go up the 15 freeway and or like like an empty road or maybe a racetrack and go as fast as you want, I would hope you wouldn't be so what's the word I want to look for? Daring, okay, let's put it out there, daring to say, you know what, I don't care. I'm going to go on a crowded highway and I'm going to go as fast as possible, which we all know those people, by the way, right? They're usually the ones that like zip in and out of like vehicles and you're like, wow, what irresponsibility they are showing right this minute. However, if you apply that right now to what we're talking about, although yes, you have the ability to go back and do whatever you want, do so with the precautions in mind, right? Oh, wait, there's an order to stay at home and some people are getting fined otherwise? Oh, okay, got it. So here's a quick question for those of you that want to protest, okay? And I use that word kind of lightly because there's some people that are protesting at home because they're posting and publishing things online being like, you know what? We need to just go out and be back to what? Oh, civilization. Yeah, that's right. I'm not talking about the work part. People just want to go out and just be. You know what I'm saying? There's some people out there that are just like, look, I don't want to care about anything. However, on the flip side of that, you've got healthcare workers, you've got people on the front lines. And yes, I'm going to use the word on the front lines because, correct me if I'm wrong, President Trump said we're in a war and or a battle against using his terminology, an invisible enemy. So my question to you is this. When you are waging war, and you've got people on the front lines, do you want to protect them or harm them? Jesse, just what's your thought right there?
Of course you would want to protect them. You wouldn't want to harm them.
Yeah, I mean, usually the war comes from the enemy, right? And you're like, okay, we're going to put as many of our good ones up in front to fight this war so that we can win the war against whatever we're trying to win. However, we're talking about a virus that chooses pretty much anybody and everybody if you come into contact with it. Now, depending on how your body reacts to it may depend on whether you get well or not. Now, a lot of people are throwing out this, which I've kind of like, are you kidding me? So a lot of people are going, well, you know what? There's the at-risk people, 65 and over, and then there's the very, very, very young. So you know what? Just keep those people isolated away from everybody else, and we will be good to go. However, and this is sad. I'm going to bring up this story really quick because it's one that I saw and I said, you know what? This is really, 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 really sad. And it had to do with this young girl. And I want her picture to be brought up here because I want you to think, you protesting out there, what kind of people you're putting in harm's way. Maybe you're thinking, oh, my little one, he's or she's going to be fine. A 5-year-old Detroit girl who complained to her parents about a bad headache and was then admitted to the hospital died less than a month later from the coronavirus complications. Skylar Herbert had big dreams of becoming a pediatric dentist one day, and she loved stuffed animals and playing dress up in her princess dresses. She was the daughter of 2 veteran first responders, her mom, Lavandria, who has been a police officer for 25 years, and her dad, Ebby, who has been a firefighter for 18. Okay, so I'm going to pull away from this because it's a really sad article. I don't like to share anybody dying at all on this show, but I feel like it needs to be said. This young girl had a hope for living her life. And she needed to live her life, but somebody was irresponsible, or maybe they weren't. Maybe they were not responsible. In fact, her parents are very responsible parents, I would hope. However, when you go out and you say, I don't care, it's my choice, it's my will, you put people like this young girl on the front line, literally, the families of the frontline responders in jeopardy. So stop being selfish. Think about those, the families of those. And by the way, she's young. She looks healthy. She's great. Think about that the next time you want to protest. Okay, we're done with that. I may not have a show tomorrow, but send in your comments. We like to hear them. We'll check each and every one of them. But make it a great day, whatever you do. Remember, life is worth living, so live it well and be responsible so that others can live their life well as well. Thank you very much. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye, everybody. And for those of you still with us here on the show, yes, we have to let go of our radio audience. However, back to this young girl. And the article goes on to read this. Skylar died Sunday at Beaumont Hospital in the company of her family and the team of doctors who had been treating her. She is Michigan's youngest victim to succumb to the coronavirus. That's according to the state's Department of Health and Human Services. While medical professionals first believed her symptoms indicated strep throat, she later developed a rare form of meningitis and brain swelling. Her death came less than 2 weeks after doctors put her on a ventilator as a precaution. Now her mother's speaking out against those not taking the COVID-19 guidelines seriously. She said this to ABC News. She said, practice the social distancing, wear the mask, keep washing your hands. I don't understand how people don't know how to sit down and relax. This is affecting everybody around the country. So let me just go back to my initial thought. If you want to be irresponsible and or reckless, how about you do this? Why don't you sign a waiver saying, I don't care about the rest of humanity. I will, if I get sick, not accept any care. Oh, by the way, once you do get sick, and if you, God forbid, you're one of these people that are like one of these surprises where you're like, oh no, I didn't know I was susceptible to this, and you need to put on a ventilator, how much do you want to bet that you're probably going to say, please help me? So instead of being irresponsible, be responsible and start putting more responsibility into the rest of humanity by putting positive posts to say, look, let's stay safe than sorry and remain that way. Let's not put posts like liberate, liberate, liberate. Don't be like that individual. Be like the one sound of mind. Okay, people, we got to let you go. Make it a great day, whatever you do. Remember, life is worth living, so live it well and stay inside if at all possible, unless you have a mandatory. And then put the face mask on. Bye-bye, everybody.